Quaker Engineering. Apparently, it was a brother and a sister, and they were in log jams. They got a court order where Clausen and his wife, who is the sister of Earl Daniels, and he was the president of Quaker, now took over. And it looked like initially that they were going to be cooperative and they wanted to get things done. And they said, the outstanding citations and fines right now are the fall of Earls. And he said, well, if you can bring things into compliance and deal with all these different issues and complaints, then I think the township would be willing to work with you on that fine. I think it's in excess of $40,000. We have convictions in that amount. We just haven't done anything with it, thinking that Mr. Clausen and his wife were going to be real proactive. That hasn't happened. We just get a lot of shadow boxing, an email, schedules a meeting, doesn't show up, gets mad because he thought we were late. I mean, it's just a series of comedy of errors. Most recently, well, this was in April, he asked for all the historical documents, and Jamie's office was able to put together the documents, and he asked for them in a right-to-know request. I gave him those documents. And I wanted to put in writing exactly what we needed before we were willing to move an inch. And I worked with Jamie on this, and in my letter dated April 15th to Mr. Clausen, and I copied the board, we listed all of the open items. And I'll just review those. The following issues are open as far as the township is concerned. The estimate for incomplete infrastructure bonding has been prepared by Harshman based upon the most current plan filed with the township. Current plans show development of Cinque Terre and Grosseto Drive. If certain infrastructure improvements are to be removed, the plan submitted to the township must be modified. This will require a written request from the developer, Quaker Engineering, to the supervisors requesting that the plan be modified or changed. I haven't gotten anything, I don't think Jamie has. Number two, specifically, there has been a reduction in storm sewer quantities insofar as a portion of the road for Cinque Terre Place was never built and no lots exist of record. Number three, Grosseto Drive is depicted on the Phase 3 plans. The engineers continue to have a drainage concern as far as they were able to locate manhole number 9003, but were unable to determine where the water goes from that manhole. The engineer is requiring evidence that the downstream infrastructure was installed to specification and meets township stormwater control before any adjustments are made to the existing plan. Four, if these changes can be made and your engineer certifies as to the reduction of the bond amounts, we would be in a position to recommend a bond reduction for the incomplete infrastructure identified in the Harshman spreadsheet. Five, the stormwater pond issue must be resolved. Presently, the NPDES permit has expired. The developer has the option to secure a new NPDES permit or to convert to a permanent stormwater condition. Either choice would be acceptable to the township. However, the developer must take immediate steps to resolve this issue, which he hasn't done. I know that you have indicated you are negotiating the sale of the balance of the unapproved portion of Tuscany Estates to Miranda Homes, and that they would be responsible for the stormwater pond and related issues. At present, this is the obligation of the developer, and I am not agreeing to accept this type of resolution in a simple sales agreement without an assurance from either Quaker or Miranda Homes that the same will occur in the immediate future. In addition, we are requiring a copy of the sales agreement between Quaker and Miranda Homes confirming the information you relayed to myself and Attorney Michael Kearney the past few months. As of yet, we have not seen this agreement. I still haven't seen it. At present, the incomplete infrastructure bonding recommendation for phases 1 through 5 is $201,316. I will need you to have your engineer redline and revise the itemization with the appropriate certification. The current bond is approximately $138,000 and is effective through June 28, 2021, and I know we've asked that be extended. Number 7, as you know, the township has a judgment against Quaker, which is a lien on the property for approximately $40,000. With each day that passes, you continue to be in violation of stormwater pond and permitting. I will only deal with the discussion of compromising the judgment after the above items have been resolved. I am not prepared to make a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors on how this judgment is to be handled going forward until you respond. Once again, we haven't gotten a response. So I think we just instruct code enforcement to continue. So Well, there is a subdivision revision, but that's Miranda.
That's correct. There's a couple lots that Miranda owns,
Yeah.
and they got their building permits. We talked about that a while ago, almost 2 years ago, I think, something like that. That we didn't want to hold those up for any particular reason. They're townhomes, and it made sense at the time, because that doesn't affect Clausen at all, or Tuscany at all. And I don't really think we had any right for any leverage against Miranda, since those lots were already sold.
Did they ever enter swimming pool up in that property? Oh, they did?
No,
No?
no. My parents live up there, no.
They put it in though, didn't
It's put in, it has been for 2, maybe 3 years now, but it's not, they are not open, allowed to
I
use
didn't
it.
know that. I know
It
Pete Guido
still
said.
goes back with the,
The clubhouse still isn't open either?
no,
Wow.
Gary, we had initiated calling the bond once upon a time, and the bond company was having discussion with us back